Welcome, Chippewa fans, to another edition of the Men's Basketball Insider here on CMUChippewas.com. It's the final week of regular season play for your Chippewas as they get set to face their rivals this week in Eastern and Western Michigan. Here to talk about those games and more is freshman guard Chris Fowler. Chris, your team's coming off a 19-point road victory against Northern Illinois this past week, and how good does it feel to get back in the win column?
Feels real good to win that game. It's our first game in March, and Coach Davis always talks about being a good team in March and playing our best basketball. So to win the first game is always good, and hopefully it builds momentum for the rest of this month for us.
A big reason why your team was able to get that win was because of your play. In the last two games alone, you're averaging 17 points and 10.5 assists per game. What's been the difference for you?
Well, a lot of our guys are making shots, which is why I've been getting the assists. Blake and John have shot the ball better as of late, and so has Austin Kill, and Kyle Randall continues to shoot the ball great. So that has opened up driving lanes for me in terms of being able to get to the basket and get fouled and make shots. So them making shots opens up the driving lanes for me, and they've been telling me all year to be aggressive. It just clicked the last few weeks. So I'm being more aggressive, and them making shots opens up the driving lanes to help me score.
It's been fun to watch you mature throughout the season. Now this week, arguably your team's most important week to date. How excited is your team for this week? You take on two rivals.
We're real excited. I mean, there's two more games in March and two more chances for us to get better. We get to really play against two teams that beat us early in the year, and we're going to come out with a lot more intensity and play harder than we did earlier in the year, knowing these teams, knowing what they bring to the table. And we're just excited to get out there and get after it and, enjoy playing together with this team for the final month of the season.
Senior night coming up on Tuesday against Eastern Michigan. How much has your young team been able to take away from this year's senior class?
These seniors have been great. I mean, they've really been great at taking the freshmen under their wings and then allowing us to step forward and, play a lot of the minutes. I mean, I know it's hard for seniors who have played a lot or have paid their dues to come and see freshmen come in here and play necessarily more than they have. But, with guys like Finest and Zach Saylor and OV, to take a step back and to let us play the majority of the minutes, I mean, it tells you a lot about those guys' character, that they're willing to do the best for the collective group. And, of course, Kyle, I've learned the most from him over the course of the year. And, I can't give any more credit to somebody that's helped my scoring than him because, he's taught me so many things about the game and, what he's taught me I've relayed to the court. So these guys, they've been a great group to play with, and basically what they've taught us is that, the collective unit is better than the individual parts. So, I think that's a lesson we'll take with us for the next couple years that we play.
We now welcome to the program head coach Keno Davis. Coach, your team got off the schneid, so to speak, with a win over NIU. What did your team do right to win that game?
I think it goes back to the last 3 or 4 games. We were executing better on offense, getting higher percentage shots, and also working extremely hard defensively to try to shut down other teams' best players. And I thought it really came together the other night.
Over the last few weeks, your freshman point guard, Chris Fowler, has really picked up his play, averaging over 15 points and 7.5 assists in his last 5 games. How impressive has he been during that span?
Well, he's been really impressive all year. I think a team leader and a guy that's our all-time freshman assist leader, but really recently has been able to become a scorer as well. So when you have that dimension of a scorer and being able to be a setup man, I think now you're talking about a special point guard.
Now it's the final week of regular season play for the college basketball world. How important is this week, though, for your basketball team?
Well, I think it's important when we're in the MAC. You're trying to become the best team you can and be playing your best basketball when March turns around, because we all have that goal of putting a magical run together in your conference tournament and representing the conference in the NCAA. So we know that we've got a ways to go yet. We got a couple more games to be able to improve our team and see if we can end on a high note going into our tournament.
Not only that, a lot to play for in these 2 games against 2 rivals. I know it's always an intense battle out there against rivals.
Yeah, I think especially because, the 2 teams we're playing, both Eastern and Western, they have things to play for as well. They're trying to play for seeding to try to get an automatic bid into Cleveland, and yet we still have goals out there as well. We understand that the seeding's important for us as well, to be able to get the most favorable matchup that we can to see if we can move on.
And finally, for you, tomorrow night will be a senior night for your squad. Talk about this senior class and what they've meant to your young basketball team this year.
I think when you talk about team players, I think you're talking about our senior class, guys that not all have been starters, not all have had a lot of minutes, but they've kept a great attitude, enthusiasm, work effort, and yet they've also been able to bring along these freshmen and help them mature. So I think when we look at our program in a few years, we'll look back to the senior class favorably, not just because of the effort, because of the type of individuals that we had representing our school and our team.